over Tuesday. This is your daily morning motivational message. Motivation, as you know, is a lot like doing what? Taking a bath, brushing your teeth, your personal hygiene. You do these things every day. Why? Because you understand that your physical presence is what people are going to perceive first before they get to the internal. And you want to have some level of regard in your presentation. You want to make sure that your breath is not humming. You want to make sure that your body is clean and that you are dressed for your success. And so understanding how much time we put into the exterior, and you all know this, people spend a lot of money. They go and get their nails done every week. They get pedicures, they get their hair did. They do a lot. They have veneers. They do a lot of things for the exterior, liposuction, tummy tucks, the girdles they'll wear, makeup, clothing to mask certain things so they look better. There's a lot that goes into it. It is a multi-billion dollar industry in itself, just the physical presentation. So why is it, if we put so much time as a culture and consideration and care into the physical, and you have, fragrances, right? Perfumes and all these things to make someone smell a certain way. So if all of this industry and billions of dollars is vested into the exterior, how about you and I take better care of the interior? How about you and I be more intentional and deliberate with the interior and how we develop and process and cultivate and communicate? So this daily morning motivational message is really talking to you about your environment and how you are a product of your environment, or you can create the environment that will come before the product. So you can take the initiative. So for example, if you're surrounding yourself with people that don't have aspirations, that don't think big, that don't stretch, that don't want to get after it, that are not challenging themselves, you're going to fall into that pattern of settling, of being content, of not striving for more. You're going to allow that environment to rub off on you. And so you have to take the conscious step to, one, be more selective of what you surround yourself with, and two, be more influential with the environment in and of itself. There are things that you can do in your living space that will serve as reminders, that will serve as guardrails for your aspiration. You go into certain people's homes and you can feel there's a certain energy, and you look up and there are phrases like, I'm looking at namaste, and I'm looking at your purpose is love, and I'm looking at 7.7 billion. I'm like, that number has meaning, but the point is that there are markers, 100K per month. There are markers that stimulate our creativity, that stimulate our focus, and keep the main thing throughout the day, because we have taken control of our immediate environment. Environment is also people. Who are you choosing to spend time with? Who are you choosing to surround yourself with? If you make the conscious decision to surround yourself with thinking that is outthinking you, you now have an opportunity to stay uncomfortable. And if you stay uncomfortable, that's going to force you to grow. It's going to hold you to account, to continue to stretch. It's going to make you look in the mirror and say, how can I get better? If you join a running group and you commit to show up with that group every morning, and that group takes off running, you know what you're going to do? Yeah, you're going to run. You may not run as fast as you want to run, but you're going to run with that group, because it's a factor of the environment that you've put yourself in deliberately and intentionally. If you're looking at your life and there are parts or areas of your life that you're not getting the results that you want, then find some individuals that have those results. Now, I understand maybe they're not within arm's reach, and maybe you have to initially start as I started. I started with books and articles, and I was just immersed in the worlds of other successful people that had already done what I was aspiring to do. I couldn't reach out and touch them. They were not in my backyard, but I was able to create my own environment and immerse myself in the language and the thought patterns, the behaviors of those individuals, looking at interviews, listening to audios, reading articles, reading books and biographies. And so I had to create my own environment until I eventually physically placed myself in the environment of other high achievers and peak performers. So there was a process. So you don't have to wait for the environment to show up or to be magically placed in it. You can start taking specific steps and actions toward that end right now, today. But understand this, the Pygmalion effect is real. The Pygmalion effect means when you put yourself in an environment. So, for example, the Ohio State Buckeyes. You may or may not be familiar with college football, but they won the national championship last year. It was just won by Indiana this year. The Ohio State Buckeyes is known as a top tier program for football players. And what happens is you can take a player, and if they get recruited to Ohio State, their game elevates. Why? Because the environment mandates that you elevate. The environment demands that you elevate. The environment keeps you uncomfortable in your uncomfortable growth zone. And the Pygmalion effect dictates that whatever you're a part of, you're going to ascend to. So if your environment is one of excellence, high achievers, strivers, driven people, determined people, winners, competitive, that's going to rub off on you. So look at your environment in terms of your results and what is it that you're aspiring to. If you have specific goals that you want to achieve and you're not close, look at who you're choosing to spend your time with. Look at the books that you're reading, the audios you're listening to, the interviews you're plugged into. And you can do those things until the other people start to show up in your life and you start to identify those individuals that you want to spend time with, okay? It's a process, but the inverse is true. If you're spending time with people who don't have aspiration, who are content, who have resigned themselves to a life of mediocrity, and they're not reaching and stretching for more, again, that's going to rub off on you too. One of my mentors told me, he said, listen, you tell me the 5 people that you're spending the most amount of your time with, that you choose to spend your time with, and I guarantee you're earning within $5,000 to $6,000 or $2,000 to $3,000, whatever that was. He said you're earning pretty close to what they're earning, and I was like, wow, that was a word right there, and I had to really reevaluate. It doesn't mean, by the way, that you don't love these people or you cut them out of your life. It just means that you're being more intentional with where you're spending your time according to your outcomes and according to your goals and alignment. When my brother wanted to study theology, he went to the School of Divinity. He put himself in an environment where he could elevate his knowledge and his craftsmanship. When I wanted to study acting, I put myself in the school, the Yale School of Drama. I went in an environment where there was a lot of high achievers and peak performers, and my game rose as a result of that. There are things that we do. If you want to be successful in business, identify individuals in your particular business who've already built a book of business. They have the proof, they have the receipts, and watch what they do. And find out, can I take you out to lunch? Can I buy you a cup of coffee? Can I spend some time with you? Can I volunteer at your business for a couple of days? Can I shadow you? Put yourself in the environment that enables you to elevate, that enables you to become empowered as a result of that situation and those surroundings. So understand, if you are looking to get better, we do it all the time. You want to get better in terms of your fitness? What do? You go to the gym, and now you're seeing other people working out. You're seeing some people that have your body type and they're getting after it. Now you're going to get after it. That's going to rub off on you. You change your environment when you want to elevate. So it's a concept that we live every day. Some of us are just not as aware of it, but I'm making you more aware of it now. So I really want you to think about, because we're right here at the beginning of 2026, we're in the second month already, we're 6 weeks in. So the first quarter, Q1, is moving, right? It's coming, it's moving quickly. Look at the environment that you're in. Look at the expectation that you put on yourself. Ask yourself about your belief, about your standards, and then challenge yourself to continue to get yourself around other people and thinking that is outthinking you so that you can start getting more of the results that you aspire to. So hold yourself to account. Keep making it do what it do. If you got some value, please like and subscribe, and go ahead and share this video with someone else that you can bless it with, because it's a blessing to be a blessing.